With less oxygen, the hydrocarbon mixture we call gasoline undergoes a incomplete combustion. It burns incomplete. So C8H18, which is the mixture that we have for gasoline, when it burns in the presence of oxygen, but less oxygen than needed, produces carbon monoxide and water. We know that this is an incomplete combustion because we don't have carbon dioxide, right? So in this incomplete combustion, we need to first, let's look at balancing this equation. So we can go about and saying that in my reactants and in my products, I have reactants, 8 atoms of carbon, 18 atoms of hydrogen, and 2 atoms of oxygen. In my products, I have 1 atom of carbon, 2 atoms of hydrogen, and 2 atoms of oxygen. So we can evidently notice that the reaction is not balanced. So let's go ahead and say, well, what happens if I add 8 carbons of oxygen in front of the number 8 in front of my carbon monoxide? So that is going to give me now a total number of 8 carbons and 9 oxygens, and I'm still short of hydrogen atoms. So if I have 8 over there, I could add whatever I'm missing. So since this is 18, a multiple of 18 for my hydrogen would be a 9, right? So what if I put the 9 in front of my water molecule? It gets a little complicated the more we look into this. So doing this will give me, let's just pick a different color so we can visualize it. It will give me, I still have the 8 atoms of carbon, but now I have 9 times 2 is 18 atoms of hydrogen and 9 plus 8 atoms of oxygen, which will give me a total of 17 atoms of oxygen. Now, with this, I could go ahead and put my 17 in front of my reactants over here, and my equation could be balanced. Let's look into that. So I now have 8 atoms of carbon, 8 atoms of oxygen over here, plus 9 equals 17. The reality is that my equation is not balanced yet. So let's just erase some of this information for us to get a clean slot. So I may have to add 2 moles or molecules of the octane. So that is actually going to give me, with this new slot, it's going to give me that I have a total number of 2 times 8 equals 16 atoms of carbon, plus 2 times 18 is going to give me 36 atoms of hydrogen. And for now, I'm not touching the oxygen. So I'm going to need a total number of 16 in front of my CO2, right? So now I have 16 atoms of carbon, and I started off with 16 atoms of oxygen, and I need to balance. Since I have 36 atoms of hydrogen in my reactants, I need 36 in my products. So for that, I'm going to use the coefficient 18 18 times 2 equal 36, right? So I'm going to add the coefficient 18 in front of my water molecule. So I end up having 16 plus 18 atoms of oxygen, which is the same as 8 times 6. It's going to be 34 atoms of oxygen. Since I already have 2 in the oxygen molecule, the 34, it's going to have me add a coefficient of 17 in front of my oxygen. And 17 times 2 will give me my 34. And now my equation is balanced.